it is Dames and Dorks. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yay.
We have an exciting show today. We have none the other person who's among us, who is an eldritch god, and we love her. She's cute, she's adorable, and we know she's not going to eat us because we're on her good side. I want to welcome Oh my god. I want to welcome Amorata to the show.
Yay! Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, no, thank you for hanging out. Like, ever since I met you a few years ago, I was like, I really want to be her friend. This is like, it's been a good day, and then it's only going to get better because not only do we have Horror here, we got Mags here as well. Hi, Mags.
Hi, I'm here. I'm alive. I kind of went a little crazy with the topics today. Sorry, guys. But yes.
But it's good topics to talk about because we got a whole show to talk about everything. And then next to Mags, we got Lily here.
Lily.
What's up, guys? I'm waiting for Sunday. If you guys already saw my Twitter, you know why.
Yes, I saw it. I was like, thanks for the invite, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, but it's okay. I'm not crying because I might see it later on. But next to us, we have Dr. Rachel Lindbergh. Hi, Rachel.
Hi. Sorry, I look like a mess right now. I've been running errands and packing and everything all day today.
Ooh, where are you going on your trip?
The amazing state of North Dakota.
Why would you go to North Dakota?
Because it's one of the 3 states we have left on our trip to visit all 50 states, and the other 2 states are very expensive. So it's North Dakota, Alaska, and Hawaii.
And North Dakota is definitely the cheapest on that list because let's face it, most people don't want to go to North Dakota.
That is very true.
That is also very true because I've been to South Dakota. It's like, man, I can only imagine what the North looks like.
Dude, I've driven through North Dakota so many times. It is to be one of the most boring. The only one I really think is worse is Kansas. Was totally boring.
Nebraska is one of them too.
Idaho that can be absolutely mind-numbing, but North Dakota and South Dakota are both. Oh my God, no, thank you.
Well, it's just going to be a nice, relaxing trip. There's a couple of interesting, like touristy things to do.
There are
like this place called Bonanzaville. It sounds really fun, like old West kind of.
There's a really cool,
it's gonna be cool
museum in Fargo, North Dakota. If you happen to go there, has a huge Viking ship that I got to see when my parents were stationed there.
Oh, nice.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Before we continue on, I think we have amazing news. The reason why we ran late because someone had to do something called an errand, but I was just kind of wanting to know what's this all about, Rachel? Tell us.
Oh, well, I mean, told my family and everything about it yesterday. It's weird seeing myself full screen. But I got engaged yesterday.
It's exciting! Look at
Oh my gosh, that's so pretty!
It is so pretty!
I'm very excited.
We needed to see a full screen.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, I love it! Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. But now it's all just like planning and everything. Like,
that's the bad part. Okay.
Yeah. But it's gonna be great. I feel very, very lucky. And it was just a beautiful day. We went to this place called Bach Tower. For anyone in the Orlando area who's been to it, it's just this beautiful like botanical garden with this amazingly huge tower in the middle, a bunch of little ponds, great like area for photography and stuff. And we went there and he proposed there. It's all really, really sweet.
Oh my god, were you expecting it?
Not really. Not there and not so soon. I thought we'd do something like a little bit later, maybe after our trip this month, or like because a few of our friends are out of town currently, so I thought maybe he'd want to do something while they're there. So what I didn't know was going to happen yesterday when it did, but when he pulled me aside and our friends kind of like wandered off a little bit to start the video and the pictures and and he was just saying these really sweet things unprompted. I'm like, I think it's happening now.
Oh my gosh, how adorable. You guys are actually so cute. I'm so happy for you guys. This is really exciting for you.
I know.
Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your life, and
I know.
Of course.
Oh man, you are going to be one heck of a bride, and Jed is very lucky to have you.
Yes,
So,
he is.
I'm the lucky one.
Yeah.
No way.
So dudes, hands off. Rachel's taken. Yeah, that's true. He is the lucky one too. Oh my gosh. And then before we continue on our show for the night, we have friends in the chat. We got Yarn Witch. Hello, Yarn Witch. Hello. And then we got Fletcher. Hi, Fletcher. Nice to see you. And then here comes Mando. And I thought I was late. Well, Rachel has a valid reason. And then we got Mags, our lovely panelist here, and we got someone already cheering on for her in the chat. We're so stoked that you're here, dude. And then I see some congratulations in the chat for Rachel. Put some hearts in there to show the love to Dr. Rachel. She is a real one. I'm just happy for her to start this new chapter in life. And then when we go ahead and continue on, we are seeing a chapter coming to an end, and it's not something that it's involving in our lives, but maybe for something that's going to impact us in viewership. But Cobra Kai season 6 to split into 3 parts. Final season kicks off in July as a series finale set for 2025. So I will be honest with you guys. I never saw Cobra Kai. I know it was like a huge show, but I don't know how people feel about this. We got some people here in the panel that really like this show.
I'm excited. I don't know about anybody else. I'm excited. Nomi, you need to get on to watching this. I am going to nag you until you watch this before it comes out.
Okay. Okay. And I already see Mando in the chat going, 3 parts is bull nut or nonsense.
What?
I'm sorry, guys. I do my best to not cuss on my show, but if it calls for it, I will. But yeah, so it is some nonsense that I haven't seen it. So it looks like I'm going to have to watch it now because I'm going to get nagged about it. So Mags, take it away. What's going on in the show?
Well, it looks like I was already aware that the 6th season of Cobra Kai was going to be their last and final season. They weren't going to continue it on or whatever. It was kind of going to be it was like a beginning, middle, and an end. So we all knew this was coming, that this would be the final season. However, they're doing something a little bit different. They are deciding to drop episodes in 3 different parts. The first couple of episodes are coming, and it's going to be 15 episodes. I think anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think last couple seasons have been shorter than that. But at the same time, they're dropping a couple of episodes in June. I think sometime, I can't remember the middle part, but I remember seeing November. So it's going to be interesting how they're going to do all of this. This is not the typical way that Netflix likes to drop things, because usually they always drop everything all at once to accommodate the binge model, I guess. So now it's going to be done in 3 parts. So there's a lot of people who are not liking that concept. At the same, I guess, I don't know why Netflix is deciding to do this. Maybe there's certain arcs in the show that seems to warrant it. Of course, we don't really know what they're going to entail, but this is the final season. I'm excited. This is a really good show. Nomi, you need to watch this. I'm just like don't worry, chat. I will watch it. But it's a really fun show, and especially if you are fans of like 80s movies, especially 80s, movies like The Karate Kid, and watching this show, it's a really good show. They do it's all a lot of the familiar characters and newer characters, and they do the familiar characters very well. They respect them, and it's a really well done show. It's really fun. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. So yay, I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's kind of one of those things where for a while it was taking forever for them to it was like, are they going to actually come back for season 6? Are they going to do it? I mean, there was going to be a final season, but it was on Netflix's part to finally sign that season. And so now we're going to get it. We're going to get it this year, y'all. So I'm excited. Anyway, go. Anybody can chime in.
I haven't seen it. So
I'm like,
haven't
I'm on the level of excitement as Mags is too, but I'll speak on the little topic that everyone's like, no, why are they making us wait? I don't think this is the first time though. I think Stranger Things did it with their last season. They split it into 2 parts. And I think that went pretty well for them. So I think this might work out for them too. I mean, personally, if you put up the entire show, I'm going to binge watch it. I can't control myself. But like this, yeah, it makes everybody want to watch it. So you watch the first part of it. You're going to go talk about it with your friends. You're all going to, throw out all your theories about what you think is going to happen. And everyone's all excited. So I don't know. I think this will work out for them. I'm not too upset about it that I have to wait a little bit, but I just hope that they end it really well. That's all I want.
And for me, I think what's been their detriment is that it's dropped and everybody talks about it for about a week and then nobody ever talks about it again. So maybe with it being struck, I don't like it. It's kind of like it's a middle ground, so to speak. It's not really the best option, but it's a better option than dropping it all at once. So maybe if they've stretched it out like this, it will provide more conversation throughout the year. So, who knows? That I don't know. I'm not, of course, an expert on that sort of stuff. I know there's always been that little battle between the differences between the binge model versus the once a week kind of model. So, yeah.
Because I mean that reflects on the I keep forgetting which is the one that everybody watches every week to see where the shows are at. But that's usually what happens, right? Is that it's at the top and then slowly it just kind of like drops off when everyone's already like binge watched it.
I think, the Nielsen ratings. I think.
Yes, there you go. That's what it is. Yeah, that everybody looks at and then it's like, yes, going on super strong. And then as soon as everyone's finished it, it kind of just falls off and disappears and no one talks about it again.
Yeah. And it's a positive, it's a really good show. It's a, we always talk about the conveyor belt of slop that we get out there, and those seem to be talked about a lot. This is a good show to talk about positively on. I mean, whether people may not like certain things about it, but it's usually, for the most part, from what I have seen from everybody seems to enjoy it. So it's awesome. I'm excited. So yeah,
it's a good show. Yes.
Yep. So some of the you see the main cast of characters, of course. But yep, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. So
I'd forgotten about that. Oh my god!
I know. I'm excited. I don't want to spoil it for everybody because if you haven't seen it, but it's like,
is that a freaking eagle? Like you put the eagle thing on the?
Yes, he did. He did.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh my god. Oh
I'm
my
like, sorry.
I know.
I just caught that detail. I'm like, that's cute.
I didn't even notice that at first. That was a good catch. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I'm excited.
Nomi, you're muted.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. But obviously, I hear the passion in y'all's voices where you guys are super stoked about this, where I don't know what the heck this eagle means, but it looks like I'm going to have to watch this show now.
Yes, you do, Nomi. I'm going to get you to watch it.
Okay, I have a list
Nomi, I'll
of
watch it
things.
with you.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm not alone on this. Horror, have you seen this show?
Nope.
Well, we got another person on this boat to watch it with us, Rachel.
Highly recommend.
Okay, so you said it was based on the 80s. So I remember watching the 80s show. The movie. Yeah.
2 movies, 3 movies.
I remember watching the first one. That was it. But I didn't continue on watching it because I was raised in a strict household. So I didn't even know there was 2 more after that.
Well, then we need to watch. Well, you know what? We should do a watch party then. Let's do it.
We should do a watch party.
See, Horde, now you're going to get attacked as well. So if I'm getting attacked, you're going to get attacked as well.
I'm not attacking. I'm encouraging. Come on.
I'm planning on getting attacked for not watching things and then continuing to not watch them.
Remember, horror is her own mind. So
I'm like, guys, she does what she wants.
Mhm.
Like, let this not be the show where we anger her and she eats all of us. Okay, so like,
I was gonna say, like, let's not,
play
poke
nice.
the bear, but in this case, the Eldritch God, that we don't get.
Yeah.
eaten.
Yeah, don't anger the Eldritch God.
Yes.
Now, I guess before we continue, like, why an Eldritch God horror? Like, why?
why
Honestly,
not?
the concept came up kind of randomly because I was in a stream with a friend, and this was before I'd really started doing too much streaming myself. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but the idea of combining Cthulhu, which is the sleeping elder god under the ocean that is eventually to rise up and destroy all mankind, combined with a unicorn, just seemed like a really interesting idea. And then I had Sheep City and draw me a little avatar from the concept, and yeah, there you go. That's it. Wasn't really planned or thought through any more than that. It was just a random, interesting combination one day that I just went ahead and ran with.
Well, it works because, like, everyone knows who you are now.
No, that's because Gary can't talk.
That's true.
That is also very true.
Yep.
But funny note, he does do that a lot. But funny note, when we were in Vegas, I was talking to him about something local here that he knows of. And then I was like, hey, do you mind if I, like, see how thick your glasses are? He's like, yeah, sure. That man is blind. Holy smokes.
Yep.
I got an instant headache as soon as I looked through those lenses.
That's why he can't read super chats.
Yeah, that's why someone else reads them. It makes all sense now. So now I understand, like, he has trouble reading them and he can't say horror.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Yes, but we love him. He's great. Like,
yes.
But I just don't understand, like, how he's still alive with those glasses. That's just me. I was like,
I mean, blind people live every day. It's not like it seems necessary as long as you can get the food and water to your mouth.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Melissa takes care of him a lot. Like, seen all his posts where she has all his breakfast and, like, his vitamins and, like, medications he takes, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I love
That's so sweet.
They've got a great relationship.
And she is such a sweetheart. I didn't know she would know who I was, and then she's like, Nomi, I know where you live. I want to go where you are and go to, like, this coffee shop's like, okay, like, you know where I live now, so, like, just give me a call. She, like, they're so sweet. They were good to hang out with and get to see them in Vegas.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic. And then this one is news to me that, Daniel Radcliffe can't keep his mouth shut, despite that J.K. Rowling basically gave him a career and he's still not happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And who was it that put this in the article? I'm sorry, guys, but, like, I didn't grow up reading Harry Potter. I did watch the movies. But the way I see it, like, J.K. Rowling, despite, like, who she is, like, went through hell to make Harry Potter, and then it coming to fruition of coming into movies, a own theme park, and the actors are not satisfied of not taking upon them, like, her not taking a part of the social justice of, what is it, the trans movement? So I don't, that's the thing that peeves me off, that, this person did give you a job, created this for you, and then you spit in her face. That's something I'm not a fan of.
It's really disrespectful, to be quite honest. Her stories gave these kids, so to speak, a career, and they're speaking out against her and everything else. And you know, I understand everybody has their own opinions on things, but it just seems it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yes, you have a right to an opinion, but at the same time, these I'm gonna call them kids because that they were kids when they first started out. I mean, basically, these kids, they kind of they're being disrespectful to the author and the source herself. And yes, she has a right to her opinion. You can say, look, you could easily say, look, I don't agree with her. I don't, those are not my stances. I have my own opinions on things. I am actually, pro blah, 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 blah. But she can have her own opinions on it too. And I respect her because I've been made she basically, her story gave them a career. So it's kind of like people are forgetting to be civil to one another, even in disagreement. So it's just it's mind-boggling that they're coming out like this.
I kind of feel like the statement her books gave them a career is part of the problem, in all honesty, because these movies had such a cultural impact that the kids who were acting in them are now bound forever to that. They have had absolutely no ability, no opportunity to really make a name for themselves outside of that. They will always and forever be known as the kids who were in Harry Potter. And I imagine that comes with some amount of resentment, because even if they are great actors, no one will ever see that. No one will ever look at that. And it will obviously cause an amount of resentment, especially when you look at the other things Daniel Radcliffe has done. And he does some very interesting horror movies and some other interesting avant-garde stuff that gets absolutely no attention because it's always back to the kid from Harry Potter.
That's true.
To top it off, they are in that age group where this stuff became extremely, overwhelmingly, stupidly important to everybody. So now they are not only having to deal with, I'm sure, these repressed feelings of wanting to rebel against that role that everybody assigns to them mentally, but they have this war that everybody's telling them they also have to fight, because how dare that be the thing that you're known for when this person who you have no control over keeps saying these things that you have no control over, and you got rich off of that, and that makes them bad too, which makes them fight it even harder.
That's true.
So it's really not. I understand why people feel like it's disrespectful to her, but at the same time, these kids have had very little opportunity to be themselves, to decide what their career is and where it's going, because they're stuck in that one thing, and people can't. It doesn't matter which side you're talking to, people can't break them away from that. They are always told that without her, you would have nothing. And at some point, that really kind of eats at you.
Do you think, quick question, do you think, I mean, because it just seems like then, is it more of, now hear me out, I mean, of course it's journalism, quote unquote journalism, that's also causing this kind of, nobody wants this kind of conflict, let's just put it that way. Because it just seems like they just throw up there, and then it's almost like they want to comment, or I don't know whether the journalists want the comments themselves, or are the actors actually just speaking just out of their own mind for it. Because I guess what I'm getting at is that, yes, she can have her opinion and they can have their opinion, but it's like, it just comes across as attacking her a little bit as far as an observer standpoint. And I get why people may not agree with her, but it just comes off as attacking. Like they want to just kind of, they want to pile on to the already attacks that are against her. Anyway, I'm not for or against her. It's just more like, it just comes across that way.
Well, they probably felt like they're pushed to a point that they have to attack her.
That's true.
So, because you have to stop and remember the cultural phenomenon that Harry Potter was. I was a little old by the time they really came out, so it didn't affect me the same way it does many people I knew. I didn't have kids, so it didn't affect me in that way either. So to have all of these people who are so deeply affected by these books and the movies. And then at the same time, you have these people who latch on to these things as a type of identity on top of their other identities. To have the person who first wrote that, they feel like she's attacking them specifically, which stupid, but whatever. And then to that, they then need the people who were involved around it to revalidate them, because obviously the writer who did all these great things for them just made them feel unvaluable. So now they need this. Now they need somebody else to revalidate them. And the best that they movies, even though the actors don't really want to be still attached to the movies, they would like to move on with their lives. And yeah, it's turns into a big emotional mess on all sides, and that's part of why being a child actor in Hollywood can be so difficult, because if you are in the wrong role, you are that forever.
That's true. I mean, you are look at what is it, Robert Pattinson with his roles, and yes, he's trying to get out of the Twilight. so
to be fair, more people hated Twilight than liked it, so he's having an easier time of it.
My sister disagrees on that one, but yeah.
That is very true, horror, but but still, like, what is it? Some of the people still call them sparkle bats after, was it when he was
Jesus
Batman?
Yeah, Batman.
Yes, I remember seeing that.
Or Hayden Christensen, who left acting altogether because of all of the flack that he got for playing Anakin.
Apparently it came out later. That's not why he left. He apparently had some kind of mental issues.
That was the other actor.
Never mind, I'm confused.
That was the younger Anakin.
Yeah, that was the younger actor. That was the first.
To go even further back and still talk about Star Wars, how many people still call fucking Mark Hamill Luke Skywalker? And he's had other roles.
Yeah, well, not only that, like, he's only iconically known as Luke Skywalker. Yeah, he's been in other movies, but they're not as successful as Star Wars. And he's always going to be forever known as Luke Skywalker. Same thing with Daniel Radcliffe. He's Harry Potter. And Emma Watson. She's not Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Disney Beauty and the Beast.
That's a terrible movie, but
it was an awful movie, and I hated it. I just don't think that was her. Oh my gosh, you don't understand how mad I was. I just don't believe that was her role. And whenever I see Emma Watson, she's Hermione Granger to me. Even though I've never read the books or I've seen some of the movies, not in full, but she's always going to be known as that character.
The movies got so big and caught on so strongly that even the people who didn't really watch them feel that way. I think the only one who really stands a good chance of getting away from it, if he chose, is the guy who played Ron, the Weasley kid. And that's more because he dropped off the face of the planet afterwards. I think if he was to make a comeback now, he would probably be able to get away from it, unlike the others.
That's an interesting perspective. Like, sure, they gained their popularity and their stardom because of the books and the movies, but at the same time, I mean, it's kind of, that would be an interesting perspective on, is it worth taking a break and then coming back with a little break in between, so you can kind of distance yourself from all of that. That would be an interesting perspective.
I mean, but it's hard to do, because at the same time, acting is one of those things that feels like just so many, you have to keep in it, you have to keep doing it, or you lose your star power. There are not a lot of stars out there who have the luxury of dropping out and coming back, because eventually you're easily replaced by some other face.
That's true.
But that's because of the way Hollywood's gone, the actors have become just as disposable as our paper cups. Second you drop one, you just pick up another. They lack the same star talent, the same feeling as actors of the past. Brendan Fraser could make the comeback he did because he was a genuinely good actor with a genuine personality that people could see. It's the same thing with Robert Downey Jr. or so many people from basically the 90s back. Anyone coming forward, you can really just switch them out with anybody, and you would have the same movie just with a different name.
Is it really just then, at that point, are they actually quality actors then?
No, they're not, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would be an interesting like perspective, or some sort of like analysis, or some sort of just, I don't know. just something to think about, because it is interesting that we have the death of the movie star. There's no, I mean, we are not seeing that anymore. It's all conveyor belt kind of acting. So anyway, I don't know. It's just, it to me, at least in my perspective, it just comes across as, yes, they are stuck for their past, but it's, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where it's going to be frustrating to people, because you're going to have to separate the art from the artist. And are people going to be able to do that? And it's just like a going both ways, where you have people who have wrapped their identities around Harry Potter, and then getting upset at J.K. Rowling. And then you have people who, who are looking at it and going, why are you disrespecting her? So it's kind of, I get it.
It's funny because they're both sides of that argument have wrapped their self-worth into Harry Potter. The people who are upset because of what she said, and the people who are upset that people are attacking her for what she said. Exactly. They both have their identities set in this thing. And part of the problem is that people aren't being taught how to build their identities outside of, these vague boxes or check things. I have no idea what Harry Potter house I'd be in, because that never mattered to me. But I know people who literally think that's a part of their personality.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, knowing you, Horror, because I'm not, like I said, not into the Harry Potter stuff. I know I'm a Hufflepuff because of the personalities that I match with that house. I think you'd be a great Ravenclaw. If
and you see that means nothing.
That means
Hora's like, what does that mean?
Really?
What?
Explain that to Horror.
Smarty pants people. It's all the bookish people that are in Ravenclaw.
That sounds accurate. I am known to be overly intelligent. Oh wait,
Yep.
No, that's retarded. Retarded is what I meant.
No, that's me. I'm a Hufflepuff. but no, like you are highly intelligent. You have a broad aspect of knowledge on so many topics. So that's why I'm like, no, she's a Ravenclaw, even though you don't know what that means.
It's become the new world. What is it called? The new world. Well, it's a combination of things. Hell, it could be either the astrology, or it can be the new Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs.
Yeah. Test. I mean, and really, when you look at it, that's basically what they're giving you is a Myers-Briggs test to kind of. I would really, honestly, be slightly interested to see if someone has assigned the various Myers-Briggs personalities, the main 4 to houses.
They absolutely.
I would bet they have. Yeah, I would bet they have.
Absolutely have.
I know, like in the Christian realm, because like we're not supposed to follow astrology or anything, but we have Enneagrams. So like I think I'm a 3. I haven't done that test in a while, but yeah, I know what you're talking about on that. Like, oh, your personalities are Ravenclaw. That's cool. So you're very smart. Me, I'm a Hufflepuff. I just like snacks and I like to joke around. So that's my personality.
You see, there's nothing wrong when people use it as a way to introduce themselves or give a little bit, like they identify somewhat with it, and they tell other people that because they know that you'll understand what that means. Someone walks up to me and says, I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm going to go, oh, you're what?
Well, like, what does that mean?
Could you put that in English?
It's kind of like how people say, are you a Sith or are you a Jedi? It's stuff like that. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead. The horror.
If you give me, I'm better off if you give me your alignment on a D&D alignment chart, and then I can figure out what you're talking about. We're good there. If you can tell me I'm chaotic evil, I'm like, okay, cool. I know what you are. Go away.
Speaking of like D&D, I'm actually playing my first campaign with Moss here, so I'm going to learn what you just said right now, Horror, because I don't know what you just said.
Depends on what version you're playing. Some people don't.
Actually,
don't use that so much.
As a matter of fact, Horror, it's going to be a Call of Cthulhu.
Oh,
campaign.
That's going to be fun. Good luck. You're
gonna
die.
Did you say I'm going to die?
You're going to die.
Oh, okay. I'm so excited. I'm going to die.
Yep, you're going to die.
That's how Call of Cthulhu generally ends.
Well, I figured as much because that is an Eldritch god. So I'm like, well, someone's going to be eaten. So
eaten, driven mad, 100 other possible deaths. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait then. Like, this sounds like a really rip snorting good time for me to get into. speaking of rip snorting good time, we have some other hand animated news coming up where I don't know, everything is coming up and people are taking it upon themselves to do better animation now. So I think this was Rachel. Did you put this in here or who put this in here?
I did.
Someone tagged me in this.
I did because I thought it was interesting that this is going to be a game, guys.
Mhm.
It's an indie game, and it's got a little like almost like a Disney princess twist to it with a little horror. So yeah,
I'm a fan.
I just thought it would
like
be fun to play, or just, you know, for me, I'm like, you know, the indies out there, they're really doing a good job, and this popped up, and I was like, oh, this would be interesting to talk about and something positive to you know, maybe look forward to. So,
oh, cool! She turned into a little rabbit. That's
she
cute.
turned into a bunny. Oh my gosh!
Nice.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
yeah, so
That's
I
scary.
think it's going to be on Steam too. So if you have a Steam account, I think check it out.
When does it come out?
It's called Bye Sweet Carol, and I think wishlist on Steam. So I think you can go ahead and look it up. So.
Okay.
Thank you, Mags. This actually like got me excited now because I just started into gaming a little bit. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this seems interesting where I want to do it. And like last week we talked about the Hobbiton one, Tales of the Shire. Is that
Tales
what
of
it's
the
called?
Shire.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm all fans of indie game developers to do something like this that's unique, that's nothing the same, where they're taking upon themselves to like, hey, we're gonna bring gamers back that, you know, want to be interested in good stories and good gameplay.
I just like the fact that it's hand animated. Even the cartoons don't do that anymore. So that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. I did see, what was it? Because I think the last animated anything from Disney was, I mean, it is animated, but it turned into live action, was Enchanted, where it's Amy Adams and it's hand-drawn animation, and then she goes into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah, I think that was the last Disney movie that's princess-based and heroic by the man versus it going downhill, because now it's just absolute garbage.
Oh. Wait.
Were you
No,
gonna
my
say
brain.
something?
No, I
Oh.
was going to say something and then my brain broke and we're back to
Oh
normal.
no!
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. I've had those days too, because it's almost Friday, guys. So that's why I'm drinking my tea to get me going through the day. But
Nice.
well, I'm super stoked on that kind of game. Horror, what do you think on that?
I think it looks really good. I will be very interested to see what kind of gameplay they use. It's obviously going to be a side scroller. Looked maybe just a little slow, but it really depends on how they run the story as to how good that will turn out to be.
Because you're a gamer too. Because I watch some of your streams when you're doing your games as well. When you do it late at night, it's like, oh, Horror's played. I know I usually lurk because I like watching you play. So, how long have you been gaming, Horror?
Since I was born, since I could hold a controller.
Oh my gosh.
He's
Okay.
a Cthulhu god. She's always been gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally, my mother was gaming before me, so I was born into a household that had a Nintendo. So
Nice.
as soon as I could manage the controller, as soon as I could boot up DOS on our Commodore 64, I played video games.
Okay. So you're just a fan of everything. So what kind of platform do you like the most?
PC.
Okay, good girl. Because I'm a PC person too, because I just got it.
I
But it's so
have all of
easy.
them, but I like PC just because you get more variety and less censorship. So
I do like that as well. You're making a lot of sense on that. Well, now that you're talking about gaming, have you ever played Alan Wake then?
I did not play Alan Wake.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
well,
of course-
go ahead,
go ahead.
Max. No,
No.
take it. It's all you, girl.
apparently big gaming has had a tough one lately.
Oh yeah.
And part of that news is also including Alan Wake 2. Apparently they have not recouped their development and marketing costs yet. But of course, they're trying to put a positive spin on it, like we always see in a lot of these articles now, or a lot of other places. They're like, but it's continuing to have a high average price. What does that exactly mean? It's like,
means they haven't dropped the price to try to sell it.
Ah, interesting. So yeah, this is Alan Wake 2, of course, came out to be part of the influenced by SBI, or Sweet Baby Inc. And yeah, they're not doing so well right now, and it's showing. One, I think I've heard from what I remember watching some game streams and hearing from other commentators. One, it's insufferably bad with the SBI, and it's also the story is not that good either. So it's kind of a double whammy there. And yeah, this is they're not having a good one. AAA is not having a good one right now. So
sorry guys, I was making my tea. Well, it does sound, and also isn't like Sweet Baby Inc. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they in hot water already with like some controversy that happened a few weeks back?
Oh, they're in a whole lot of trouble. They decided to attack a gamer who had a group on Steam that would tell people if they were involved in the game or not. And of course, then they tried to spin that as they were under attack. But And yes, Smu as SBI are absolutely the catalyst for Gamergate 2. If they hadn't chosen to attack Cabrutus, then we would never have a Gamergate. Well, we'd probably eventually have a Gamergate 2, but not yet. To be frank.
All right. And like we got Biggles Mets in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. But it looks like he is very well informed with Alan Wake. Go ahead.
Well, they said it had been in the conversation for Game of the Year, and yeah, it didn't even make money. And the big problem, from what I understood of it, is that Alan took such a big back seat in the game with his own name on it.
Yep. I remember watching because I wanted to get different perspectives from different people. So I watched Mahler and a couple other people, and they were all saying this. They were all saying the same thing. Like, and even watching them play through the story, yes, Alan Wake was literally backseated from his. It's kind of something that we've seen as a trend where we see in shows like Loki, where the main character where the show is titled after, or main game that the game is titled after, the main character, excuse me, they're taking all a back seat. So yes, this is very true. They should have renamed it then.
Or said like Alan Wake, someone else's name adventure or something like that, where they spin it off and guide you down a different road instead of making people think, oh, this is another game about Alan, and then it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we also have someone else who's very informed with this game, which is Smu the DJ, our lovely mod here. So what you guys is just saying is just like they're just using the name, but not even the main character is the main gameplay. Is that correct? Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, that's basically what they did.
Well, how do they expect to make money when they're doing this type of stuff? It's not gonna get my attention.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as Tommy says here, the main character was dumb as a bag of hammers, and it basically, how do I describe it? It's like she's a Mary Sue throughout the entire game.
Oh, makes sense.
It's like she comes up with all of these things, and it's kind of like, instead of you actually getting clues to figure it out, it's like she's coming up with all of these deductions already, and it's kind of like, what? You haven't even gone down this. It's like she's got this magic power to be able to come to these deductions. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense to the story itself.
That's a combination of issues. They're dumbing down games so much when you have those secondary characters or companion characters that are literally telling you how to do everything in the game, or the yellow paint on everything to tell you to climb up this ladder. It's like, what the fuck happened to me being able to just, click the A button next to the ladder and see if I could climb it? Or, in other games where you would stand next to the ladder and they would actually have on the screen, press A. And it's like, okay, cool, I can climb this ladder. But you have to explore around to find it in order to get to it. They've really dumbed it down to try to appeal to a wider audience. And instead, all they're doing is killing their actual audience.
Yep.
Yes. And then Jason made a good point here. It's all about the message, gameplay, and story to be damned. Like, all the things that is touched is by wokeness. And that's true. And we're all getting tired of it, because I know like Stellar Blade is a hot game right now that everybody's loving it. And I know it's about the jiggle physics. I know. But the fact that it was a Korean-based game and they didn't bow down to the wokeness, because South Koreans do their own thing. They're not following any type of Western political movement or anything. They're just doing their things. And like, look what happened. People bought the game. People are loving it. People are putting out their videos on it, and it's making the money.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Alan Wake. Oh, I'm not playing. I don't get to play this character, and it's something else. It's this FBI agent, and she's dumb as rocks. Not what I was expecting. So yes, the gaming industry just is new to me, and I want to know more about it. And this next topic that we're going to talk about, I've always wanted to play this game as a kid. I didn't have the necessities to play this game, because financially we couldn't do it. But I've always loved the artwork for it, and the storyline, from what I read, is Kingdom Hearts. I'm looking forward to this. I don't have a PlayStation, but I want to buy it. And I know the way that Disney's going, it's not looking too hot. So I'm not too sure how I feel about this live action coming up for this franchise here. And Rachel, did you play Kingdom Hearts at all?
I didn't. I know very little about it, because it's one of those games of like, if you ask someone what Kingdom Hearts is about, they're gonna have to sit you down for like 10, 15 hours to try to explain it to you. So I never got into it. I have a bunch of friends that know it, know the lore, absolutely love it. So I don't know. I'm very very wary of any kind of adaptation these days.
Well, I know that was it Kingdom Hearts 3 that came out in 2018? It had the worst ending ever, from what I've been told by the fans. And I'll take their word for it, because there wasn't only this one person who is involved in my life that told me like it was awful, they hated it. And it was other people that are on the internet that said the same thing. It's like, oh, wow, this is terrible. So I'm not sure what really went down, because I don't know the lore, but I want to get to know it a little bit. And then don't make the heart, light, darkness drinking game with those games.
Uh-oh.
Well, they don't know me. So, I will make it a fun kind of game. And then, yes, Smu the DJ. The ending was horrible, especially after everything that was built up to. See, that's what I've been told too, that it was so hyped up, and they introduced Toy Story the characters in there as well, that you were supposed to play as the certain character, and it didn't go as you thought. So I just know it was like very anticlimactic. Like, it wasn't very exciting at the end of the game. But I still want to do it. I'll take all the hate. I'll take all the negative things and, see for myself, because, this is what we do. This is what we do. We critique things. We watch it. We'll take it upon ourselves and say what we liked and didn't like. But, I'll be damned if I have my own opinion, though. But if I don't believe in what they're trying to say, but I will call out what's going on, though, right?
Always make an informed decision and opinion on things. Don't let everybody else do it for you.
Yeah, just run off the hip. Nobody cares.
I can't let people think for myself. I have to rely on others to do that, right? So,
No, you
Right.
don't worry about anybody else's opinion. You also just don't worry about research. You make a snap judgment at that moment, and then whatever that is, whatever you decide in that moment, that's right. And you move on.
Yep.
Okay. And then, all right, Smu, I'll take your word for that, and then I will put that in mind whenever I get into it. But something also happened this week where I'm not looking forward to it because this is now Disney. I mean, Disney has always messed up with my childhood, and they're taking it a bit further with this one. With Barry Jenkins' response to criticism, that's Mufasa, the Lion King. And I saw that trailer, and that looked like a heaping pile of trash on fire.
Quote unquote live action.
Yeah.
Live action.
Like, if Disney didn't realize what's going on, that people are not running to the seats, where Disney was king on selling tickets fast or even selling out on movies a little bit, this isn't it. Quit taking old stories and taking them into live action with actual animals. I would be a fan. Okay, Disney had a banger of a movie with Homeward Bound, and they used live animals. They used real dogs and a cat and a cougar. So, like, that's the type of action I'm kind of wanting to see in the movie theaters, not this lifeless, soulless trash here, which is, true. It's a soulless machine. You're not wrong. Yep. So, it looks like he's defending on his work on it, but like, what's to defend? Like, you heard the criticism, you heard the people's voices on it.
Oh, no one liked the original live action they did of this. So what would make them think they want this?
Well, not only that.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, didn't they get a lot of criticism for doing the Lion King live action in the first place? And then they thought, you know what would be great, guys? Because, people haven't been telling us this entire time they didn't like the first one, and they haven't been liking the remakes, and they want us to do something original. Why don't we make a prequel to Lion King? Oh my gosh, that's so bad. And then I was looking at it, and I guess they're changing Mufasa's story as well. So
of course they are.
That's what's bothering me, is that I'm pretty sure in the animated version, Mufasa had this big old speech with Simba where he was like, yes, we come from like a long line of kings and blah, blah, blah. And in this one, apparently Mufasa's like an orphan. So they're changing his story that yes, you can come from nothing and be a king or whatever. And it's like, why can't you just let Mufasa be a king in a long line of other kings? I don't
Because apparently that's not inspiring. Don't ask me.
And then also, have you seen lions in real life? They fight for that type of, that titleship, to be the king of the pride. They literally go to death for that type of stuff. And then oh yeah, you can be anything. If you want to be a king, it's yours. You have to go fight for that. What makes you think it's given to you? Yeah, you're Simba, you're Mufasa's son. Yes, you're going to inherit the pride. But you also, in real life, lions do fight for each other to, be the top dog on that one.
But I don't understand, because wasn't that one of the main plot points of The Lion King, is that Scar was mad that he's the younger brother and he's never going to be king because he's not in line of succession?
Mm-hmm.
So now what happens? Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening.
Does Mufasa get adopted or something, and now that's why Scar's mad? I don't know.
But if Scar was already the one that was in the family, wouldn't he be I don't know. Yeah, I don't plan on watching it, so whatever.
It's weird. And even the trailer, it's just it's soulless, because it's like, I don't get any kind of emotion from it, any emotional attachment from it. The animated movie, which I'm a huge fan of, it's one of my favorites, and it's that had more emotion and more soul in it as an animated scale versus a live action. And just like what Nomi said, there's been plenty of other live action, quote unquote, with real animals used to tell a story, and they have done a far better job to convey what's going on. And just watching the trailer, it's just, I don't know, it's just reminding me of bad Marvel CGI lately. So it's just It's giving me that kind of PTSD.
I kind of want animated stuff again.
Yes, I agree.
What we just saw in a video game, hand-drawn animation. The fact that a video game developer is doing it and not Disney, because that video game, they already have my money. I'm going to already give it to them. Disney, I'm not going to give you my money with this. Like, if you want me to come back, make it good. Make it good, guys.
I mean, I know essentially we're not supposed to be the target audience because it's supposed to be for kids, but I mean, hello, who honestly are the ones that go and understands the movies better? It's the adults that take the kids to the movies.
I mean, we are part of the target audience, though, because if we weren't the target audience, they wouldn't be playing off of things that were part of our childhood.
Exactly.
No, nobody's the target audience. The audience for this shit does not exist.
That's true, too.
Making it.
I'm gonna go with that one.
They are their own target audience, and they just and this is actually true. What I'm saying here isn't sarcasm. They are their own target audience, and they assume that everybody else wants exactly what they want.
Yep.
And the thing is, they're not going to get what they want.
Because what they want is to see themselves on screen, and the rest of us don't want to see them. We don't care about them.
If any, it's virtue signaling. I'm not going to go see you. Preach.
It's almost like the only target, of course, their only target audience is themselves to be able to pat themselves on the back. That's basically what it is. They don't even care about us.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, so it's just, if anything, it's baiting again. It's baiting on us, the generation who grew up watching The Lion King. I saw Lion King, the animated one, in theaters as a kid. So I was not a fan when they introduced it as a live action. I was like, that sounds stupid. And like, I straight up don't like Seth Rogen. His voice annoyed the heck out of me when he was Pumbaa. But I did like him as Donkey Kong in Super Mario Brothers. I think he did a good job.
A little.
Yes, that too. And then it actually was decent. But him as Pumbaa, and then, oh my gosh, I can't remember the guy who played Timon. He came out with that dumb movie Bros. Look, if you're gonna cast these people who don't have like an imagination or have a respect of what was created beforehand,
Or talent.
Yeah, a talent. Like, don't get into it. Like, don't ruin it. So that's what I'm going back on the baiting thing. Is like they're just baiting us. Like, oh, here's some member berries. By the way, we're going to continue the story. If you want to know how Mufasa started, this is how it came about. No. I am not a fan of that at all. So just leave my childhood alone because I want to do my own thing. And just remember that Mufasa is king. Scar, hear me out. I think Scar was misunderstood, but but he also had a right too. Like he wanted to fight
the villain.
I know
villains, they're not misunderstood.
I know he was a villain.
He was
but he
trying
also wanted
to kill baby lions. There's nothing to come
It
back.
was literally Hamlet.
Yeah. Well, no.
Like, I still stand by the statement. It's like, I think he was just misunderstood, but maybe he just needed friends. Maybe like someone to actually talk to him because they
He had friends. He bought them. They were called the hyenas.
That's true, but like
His own friends ate him.
Yeah,
that's true.
Come on.
All right, I lied about everything before. I take everything back. Nomi is the target audience. She's the villain.
Target audience for this movie.
I do want to see it. I want to see Jeremy Irons play Scar again. Okay, get off my case. But another thing is too, like, I was not a fan of Beyonce being in the live action at all. Like, she was awful. She was.
Why was she even in the live action?
Wait, what'd you say, Lily?
Her daughter Blue Ivy is in this one.
I know.
Of course.
She's voicing Kiara, Simba's daughter. Isn't that correct?
Something like that, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, why is Simba's daughter being voiced in a movie that's about Mufasa as a young cub? Like, it's just so.
Well, Simba doesn't know any of this shit.
Make sense.
Mufasa died. He didn't have time to tell him.
Exactly. Too. It's like, where's this coming from?
Like, that was such a traumatic part of my childhood, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh,
stop
yes.
making me relive it with all of these things. I just want to forget.
Speaking of someone wanting to, go ahead, Laura. What were you gonna say, girl?
Oh, I just said lame.
Oh, okay. Well, then I can go into my segue of my next one. Speaking of like wanting to forget everything and like wish it never happened. Man, and I knew this was going to come up sooner or later because when I saw this movie, I absolutely hated it. But it's Chris Hemsworth when he takes the blame of Thor: Love and Thunder, when he got caught up in the improv and the wackiness and became a parody of himself, which is true. I hated Thor: Love and Thunder because it wasn't Thor. It wasn't him. And it was just slapstick humor. And it wasn't even humorous at all. It was just like, it's just friends just doing stupid bloopers and they made it into a movie. That's how I saw it.
I mean, the last time Thor was in the first Thor movie.
That's also very true.
Yeah.
How many
I
times
did not see
was he
this
trying
one.
to
I
find
saw
himself? Like that was getting really annoying.
Yeah. It should have been
But
like you find
also-
yourself in the first one and great, and then just move on. It was over and over again.
I mean,
I'll be honest.
Also, I understand. Sorry, like just something super
Okay.
quick. I know he's trying to like throw all of the blame on himself too, but I mean, he's also an actor and he's getting direction from like Taika Waititi.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he tried to like say something, he probably would have been met with, "Well, this is the script and this is how we want you to do it, so do it." So I don't know if he necessarily should be taking all of the blame for it.
I don't believe he's actually taking blame. I think he's building an excuse to come back and do another movie.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
At least Robert Downey Jr. was really cool. He came out and he was like, "No, Chris, you're amazing." I was like, "Aw, Robert Downey Jr. is a bro."
It could be too, because we've all seen
Didn't
it
we want
online or
to?
whatever. We've all there's always, well, us, I think we're pretty much all on the same page with this, but things that Taika Waititi has said over the last like year or two, saying some weird stuff like, "I will mess with your lore in Star Wars" and all this other stuff that he said. It's kind of one of those things where maybe these actors are finally coming out and saying, "Hey, yeah, he's trying to put all the blame on himself or take responsibility for it." But at the same time, we could all see what was happening in front of our eyes with this movie, where it just was like humiliation time for him. It's kind of strange. I think actors, you need to be professional, but at the same time, actors need to kind of speak for themselves as far as stand up for also directors and other producers, not necessarily producers, but if it's the direction and the producers that are making them humiliate themselves like this, especially with an iconic character that we've all grown up with in Thor. I mean, you go from Kenneth Branagh from the first Thor, who had a very respectful Shakespearean-esque aspect of the character himself, to being the character now being completely humiliated. It's just such a roller coaster ride, so to speak. So it's, in a way, I wish we could bring back the Kenneth Branaghs, back into the scene, because he would bring back respect for the characters again. But I don't know. Maybe actors need to kind of, I don't know, put their foot down or something like that. But I don't want to speak out of turn with that, because I know everybody, it's a job and it's a contract that you signed up for. So you kind of have to deal with it. So I don't know.
Oh, I mean, no, yeah, you're right. It's just at the same time, I mean, he is Thor, and they would have to go through a whole bunch of a mess if they wanted to replace him if he said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he had every right to say no.
I mean, and then in other interviews he's given, he said that he would be open to coming back to the role. So yeah, I think what Horror said, that he's setting himself up to be like, "No, guys, I can do it better this time. I promise."
He just not that long ago say he was taking a break from acting?
He did say that.
I don't know. I think he did. I'm not sure what's happening.
I think he said that he wanted to take a break from acting because he wanted to focus on his family.
I thought he had some kind of brain thing.
Yeah, it was some kind of disease,
that
I think, that he had.
Yeah, isn't it like linked to Alzheimer's or something?
Yeah, something like that. He said that he had that thing, and then he wanted to step away from acting and not act anymore. And
well, he is coming up in the new Mad Max, yeah, Furiosa. So I don't know. I wouldn't call that stepping away, but maybe this might be his last hoorah. Until then, but
I mean that may have been supposed to be. And for all I'm not sure what the development cycle was on that. So maybe because Nick Weiser is saying it was 2 years off from acting, and that time's passed. So maybe he did the Furiosa filming before that time started, and then the movie's coming out now, and now he's coming back at the same time. It's entirely possible.
Okay. Actually, we got proven a little bit with this. So Chris Hemsworth shuts down claims Alzheimer's fears forced him to quit Hollywood. Okay, cool. So we got our own investigation going on with Smu the DJ here, providing me this link. So good to know. So
thanks for that handed out, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yeah. Thanks, Jamie. You're the greatest. But yeah, I guess we can close that book because it looks like he doesn't have Alzheimer's, and maybe he just did really want to focus on building his family.
Yeah.
But good for him if he wants to raise his family.
It just seemed that, I mean, I'm sure it happens, but it's not very common for people to get Alzheimer's that young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have early signs that will make them adjust their life young. So
I mean that's true, but I've just never known it to be that kind of young person. Maybe if they start seeing it in their 60s or something like that, but it's usually when it's older.
Oh yeah, because it's like a degeneration of all of the of your brain, so it takes a while for that to happen. I mean, someone in their 30s, 40s hasn't been around long enough.
God, I'm older than Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
and like I said on my stream before,
no, you're forever, Eldritch God. You're forever.
You are forever. Your skin is so amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought you were 26 when I met you. So yeah, you look. If anything, you look a lot younger than Chris Hemsworth. So take pride with that one. You do. You have amazing skin, and I'm actually super jealous of that.
Thank you. I blame the products I use.
Well, you need to send me a list of those products that you're using, girl.
Oh, I can do that. That's easy.
But well, going into more into the Hollywood industry, I wouldn't say film per se, but the shows that we grew up watching on Nickelodeon, because I was a fan of iCarly. That was my favorite show. And then watching Quiet on the Set really peeved me. And then here comes this person with the audacity to sue producers for defamation. And I'm not having it, guys. Because I saw that documentary and then seeing opening my eyes, how did this pass? And not only that, how did our parents not pick this up on the little innuendos that was in the shows? So Dan Schneider is suing the producers of Quiet on Set because they labeled him as a predator. But this man straight up
That's because he is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So who else has seen Quiet on the Set here?
Oh, I watched it.
I haven't, but I
watched something else that covered it for me. So
I haven't seen it yet either, but it's definitely on my list of things to watch. It's just it's kind of one of those, when you think about it, it's because it's so how do I describe it as? But it's kind of one of those things where you have to be in the right mood for it, if that's the best way to phrase it.
Do I really want to be pissed off before I go to bed? Yes, I do. No, I actually want to. I'm going to watch I'm going to watch Cobra Kai. That's what I'm going to do.
That might keep you up being pumped, Nomi.
But
at least you'll be in a better mood.
Yeah,
I'll be in a better mood. But I watched Quiet on the Set when I was eating lunch, and that's what made me mad. Where I'm like, you know what? Now I just want to go to the gym and fight for kids who are who can't defend themselves. Because this did upset me a lot, that knowing that the childhood stars that I grew up watching, Amanda Bynes and Drake Bell, were all victims on this. And it hurts me that their lives are now in shambles, that, he gets to live scotch-free, nothing on him, but he wants to sue because like, oh, you labeled me like this because you are. What about Amanda Bynes, whose life is literally not going great, but she's making the best what she can? So I want to see Amanda Bynes definitely rise up. Last that she posted that she was going to do her state exam for nail technician. And I want to see her really be that nail technician in my life. I would go to her if she wasn't pricey, if she does have her own shop.
It's just really sad because I know, I mean, there were always there were always rumors about the Mickey Mouse Club, you know, of situations like this, and just rumors even back then when like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, because everybody is like, well, a lot of these childhood stars who screw up around this era, all of a sudden they're just completely messed up, like, you know, as like older teens / early adults, and they're just getting into drugs and all this other stuff. And it's kind of, I mean, it makes sense that this is what's going on. Like their youth is like completely messed up, and they grow up with this I don't know what to describe this as. This makes me angry. It's just, I mean, there are predators everywhere, and of course there's going to be predators in Hollywood. My thing is, where were the parents on set to be able to be monitoring this stuff?
Yeah, I know that Drake Bell's dad really want to be involved in it, but they barred him from being involved with Nickelodeon. And
I'm not blaming the parents, y'all. I'm just,
yeah,
it's just super frustrating because it's like, you don't want to, you want people with, especially young people, to have the talent to showcase themselves, because we've seen it. We've seen childhood actors grow up, like Ron Howard. I mean, he's grown up. It's kind of one of those things where you want them to have that sort of space, but then it's also a ground or an environment ripe for this kind of terrible behavior too. So, oh gosh, it's so awful.
Well, not to like spoil it because you haven't seen it, Mags. I mean, there's not really much to spoil, but they kind of talk about that with the parents too, is that, I mean, you're kind of assuming this is going to be a safe environment for your children, you know? So they got into that. The parents were told, oh, you know what? It's because they need to focus. They need to concentrate. So you guys can't be here. And all the parents were like, oh, okay, well, I mean, my kids are safe here. They're with other children, other adults. But like, then you see what happened. So
yeah,
it's kind of, it's crazy. You'll see it on the show.
Yeah,
I'm like, it kind of killed my childhood a little bit because I'm like, oh my gosh. Meanwhile, I was like having fun watching all these TV shows and they weren't having a great time.
It makes you feel like you watched them suffer at their expense, and and you're scot-free. It's like, it's just horrifying.
Where I feel a guilt on it too.
Yes.
I guess I'm weird. I mean, the thing is when it comes to predators, they will always find a way to get a child into the situation they want. It is extremely terrible that these children had to go through these things. And on one hand, yeah, it's kind of depressing to realize that a lot of the joy you got in childhood comes from things that were potentially traumatizing to these other people. Isn't that kind of the way it always is? I mean, look at how many amazing movies came out in the 60s and 70s and the way they used to treat women back then, or the 40s and 50s even. The things that Hitchcock would do to women. The woman that was in The Birds, she never acted again because she refused to sleep with him. So it is unfortunately what happens when people are in a position of power and they choose to use that power to manipulate others for their own use. I mean, I could get into all sorts of things from that, but yeah.
It's just a dark thing. And like I said, it gave me a little bit of guilt, or I do feel for these now past actors who I grew up watching. But I just really hope that Dan does not have any way in succession and, suing and succeeding in this, because if we saw the news last week about Harvey Weinstein, his was passed. That's some nonsense. So I just really want justice to be seen, but it's Hollywood. They have their hand in everything, and we know what will happen, or someone might be X'd out. But all I want is to see my childhood actors succeeding in that. Seeing of succeeding on things in life, we're going to go into a topic who has been hot in the news, hot in everything else, who is hot in pink. We're talking about Ryan Gosling and his succession in Fall Guy. It looks like it's going off to a good start on this one, and we have someone on the panel who got tickets and cannot wait to see it on Sunday. Take it away, Lily.
I want to say thank you, Mags, for the topic. I was looking forward to this week. I was all, the Fall Guy. Yes, so we're gonna go watch the Fall Guy, and yes, I am a fan of Ryan Gosling, but this does look like a really funny movie, so I'm looking forward to watching it. And it looks like they're already, saying that it's gonna be a pretty good hit. And it's already coming with some controversy too. I saw earlier on Twitter that apparently they make a joke about about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard in the movie, and that's not sitting well with audiences. So I think that's gonna make people go watch it even more. So yeah, that should be funny. And I don't know if you guys have been seeing like all the promotion for it, like the red carpets that they've been doing or the videos.
The stunt ones?
Yeah.
Yes, they're funny.
Yeah, every single red carpet. What I love about this is that Ryan's not just taking the credit for doing all of the stunts in the movie. He's actually highlighting all of the people that are behind the movies and all the movie magic. So he's got his stunt doubles with him on the red carpets, and they're doing some really amazing stunts and kind of showing off like their talent. And he's making sure that he's like, yeah, like they're the ones that make me look good in the movie, and it's not just me. Like these guys are the real heroes. And I think that's what's standing out for me, is that he's giving credit to people behind the scenes that don't usually get a lot of credit.
I think it's gonna be a fun movie. It just seems really fun. There's definitely some hype for it. And clearly they're marketing it very well. Yeah, I just, it seems like it's gonna have, at least predicted to have, a decent opening. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully the story pans out. But yeah, it just looks overall fun. It just looks like they're having fun on set too. And I think that's also helpful. Where you see some stories and movies or what have you, and it just comes off as they don't want to be there. They actually want to be there and have a good time. So it's going to be a fun movie, I think.
And then I think it helps a lot that he has really great chemistry with, oh my gosh, I just lost her name. Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
That he's got really great chemistry with her. Like you see them doing all of their interviews together, and she is hilarious. So I can't wait to watch it. Like all the trailers that have come out, it's just so funny. And so yeah, I'm excited to go see that on Sunday.
Well, I'm gonna see it on Tuesday. So I'm gonna have to wait, and I know I'm gonna hear all about it with Lily. So yes, I not only that, like Ryan Gosling is doing such a good success with that. I think he's doing a good job just being who he is, and that is him literally still portraying himself as Beavis and Butthead.
This is amazing.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but he did a skit on SNL where he came out dressed as Beavis, and now he brought it out to the red carpet of the Fall Guy, which I don't know, it makes me kind of wonder, are they trying to tell us something with this? Because I would be down with the live action Beavis and Butthead.
Oh my gosh, foreshadowing?
I know, maybe.
Wait, look, there we go. I was like, where'd it go? Here we are.
We wanted the Mike Judge is involved.
Like no shame. I love it.
They look like they're having a good time.
Yes, the only thing that drives me crazy is that I was like, my OCD will not let me like get over the fact that they're in the wrong order.
Yes.
I'm like, Venus is supposed to be on the other side. But yeah, no, he went all out. That's like a prosthetic nose, and he's got like all this stuff going on. So yeah, they've been going all out with it. I mean, it's working.
And they're killing it too. Like, what was the performance that he did at the not the Oscars? The
Oscars.
Yeah, it was Oscars. Yeah, that he like totally embraced Ken again, and he did such a heck of a performance. So it looks like we have the rise of Ryan Gosling, who cannot be stopped.
Hey, I'm all for it.
And I was gonna say, Lily's living for it too.
I'm all for it. This seems to be him just having fun in all his roles. So I'm happy for him.
And I know you already talked about it because I did have to like go. I had to step away for a second, but man, we just can't get enough of him on this.
Yeah, see, like that one was such a cool video. I don't know if they have like the video on the bottom of the article.
Here we are.
Yeah, they do. That one was so cool.
So even the stunt guys are having a fun time being
Yes.
showcased.
And then there was another one where he was doing the entrance into the theater itself, and
This
his
one?
stunt double, like,
Yeah, I think that's it. Yep.
Oh my god!
What?
And then Emily Blunt's over there. She's like,
Yeah, she's like, oh my god.
She's loving it.
Like, how cool is that? I think they're trying to get people to watch the movies again by making the red carpet interesting. That's really wild.
But it's almost interactive at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like, would you even say like this is the type of stuff that people want to be entertained with?
Yes.
Are
that's
you not
cool.
entertained?
Exactly. Are you not entertained with this? Because I am. And I'm kind of looking forward to like the love story between him and Emily Blunt.
It looks
Because
funny. It looks
I
funny.
love her as an actress. She's so great. And then also Ryan Gosling, he's okay too. But like but he looks like he knows how to have fun and let people have fun. This is the type of stuff like I look forward to. It's like, oh, everybody's like, you know, having a good time, and not like months or years later, like they come out like, yeah, I actually had like a really bad time on that set. I hated everyone. I hated the director, but it looked like people enjoyed doing what they were doing here. And then, oh my gosh. And then I have something else here too that I'm going to bring it up because I don't know if Lily has seen this yet.
I think it plays into what is going on with Ryan and why he's having so much Kenergy right now. Of course, probably my device is listening to me and talking about this movie and Ryan Gosling. But I found this very interesting from him. It's a quote from Variety. I don't really take roles that are going to put me in some kind of dark place. The decisions I make them with Eva, and we make them with our family in mind first. My kids' interest in Barbie and their disinterest in Ken was an inspiration. I thought they were already making little movies about their Barbies on the iPad when it happened. So the fact that I was going off to work to make one too, we just felt like we were aligned. So he's basically talking about rejecting roles that are too dark for the sake of his family. So he's clearly thinking in that mindset. And as you can see from the stunt situation and everything else, he seems like he's having fun like a kid. So it's definitely reflected in that.
Yeah, it is. And I kind of love that because he's already made a lot of more edgier, darker movies. And he's kind of in his I'm just going to have fun with it and pick roles that are not that serious. And that's fun. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, since we're on the topic of like him focusing on families, and one, I respect the fact that he's talking to his wife about this type of stuff, because you don't hear that often in Hollywood. Like, we're a family. I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my husband. Like, hey, like, let's see what we can do to make it better for our future generation, our kids. What do our kids want? What we want them to be included as well. And that's what we need more in life, honestly, because, you know, we are living in a dark world. We want to make sure that our kids are going to be taken care of. They're not going to be misled. They're not going to, you know, fall into darkness, where I think Ava and Ryan are doing a good job of preserving family values.
And then definitely props to her, because she stepped out of the spotlight to take care of the kids, and she does like her own projects behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And she has like a jewelry line. She's releasing like kids books, things like that. And I mean, you don't hear that every single day out of Hollywood. And I think that's a really cool thing that she's doing, that she's stepping up as a mom, but he's also a really active dad too.
Yes, definitely an active dad. And we need more men who can do that, like kind of uplift their kids. Like they're gonna remember this for the rest of their lives. And that's I'm gonna bring this up because I shared this on Twitter earlier this week, and this melted my heart like none other. This video, we need dads like this guy who takes their daughter to a Predators hockey game. I don't know if anyone has seen it, but I've just been in love with this video since I saw it a few days ago.
Say hello to
I love this one.
Yeah.
You have not lost your touch, Sarah.
She grabs the water.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And he's helping her.
And look at his face. He's so proud. I love that.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how much my heart melted on that. Like, I was so stoked. I loved his reaction when he was cheering his daughter on to drinking and going. This is the type of that we need. We need more men like this who want their kids to be involved. And the fact that she was still drinking water, but still, like, she followed her dad's footsteps and like followed, like, everybody cheered her on. So she's going to remember this for the rest of her life. So that's why Brian and Ava doing their things for their kids, and what this man is doing here with his daughter, making memories. And that's what needs to be happening in our today's society on this. And I'm not going to lie. Yes, I did tweet it that, like, hey, like, I am single and I can totally be a stepmother if I would love to be a stepmother. But like, it's just because, like, that's the type of stuff that makes me look forward to getting married and, you know, having a family. It's just bros being chads and being dads. I live for it. So I don't know what you guys think on this, of, like, you know, we need more men like that who are not afraid to, like, still do their things as a chad, but involve their kids.
Well, it's a matter of being mentally present with that too, and knowing that what you do in their life, whether you're there or not, is impacting them in some form or some fashion. So yes, doing things like what Ryan Gosling said about, like, keeping in mind of his own family and what he's doing through acting from here on out. Clearly he's involving his wife. So, I mean, I love that aspect, that they're talking to each other, communicating. And it's kind of, it's fun to see dads like that who are taking their daughters out and having fun and, you know, just participating like that. You can clearly tell that he's very active in her life. So seeing active fathers is a good thing.
Exactly.
I'm on mute. I'm sorry. We don't get enough of this. So that's what we need content on this type of stuff. Or even, like, mothers taking their sons out, like, hey, let's go get McDonald's. Simple as that. Something cute and innocent. And that's what the world needs versus, like, entertainment. Like, I think this will be good for the family. How about you go turn off the TV, stop watching entertainment, and make something for yourself and your family.
Or teach your kids to read a book.
Yes, we got our bookworm over here who likes to read books, and I think that's a good advocate on that, like a good, you know, thing for kids to have their own imagination. Because I was homeschooled, so I grew up reading Chronicles of Narnia and Lord of the Rings. So that's what gave me the imagination to, like, think for myself, create my own things. So yes, families, parents being involved is something that we all need to have in our lives. And then parents, like showing an interest in what your kids are interested in, make memories together, find something in common and participate. You parents may not understand a lot of things, but at least like step into the world and help, like have them explain to you what makes them happy and why are they in this hobby? Like, why do they like it? So yes. And if you want a family wholesome classic, family take, go watch, I've heard about this. I heard it was really good. That is on my list as well, Smu. On that.
Oh, Spy Family is great. I need to see the movie. Crap.
Oh,
Sorry, Yarn Witch.
sorry, girl.
Sorry, Yarny.
But you can live your life through that video of the dad here, living his life. And I'm just a sucker for tattooed guys. Yes. And then I guess we're gonna go back. Well, not guess. We're gonna have to go back to our talk about. We talked about this game, and I completely missed this topic. But on Stellar Blade, I just can't believe I missed this here. Political streamer ups bounty. Oh, that's right. I did see this. What was that? What was that? I can't remember her name, but she's not worth talking about anyway. Because
Denims, is that her name?
Denims something.
Denims.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also for the fact for this girl, like, oh, I really didn't mean it. Like, no, girl, you definitely mean it. You meant it with your heart and passion. That she sends a bounty, ups the bounty, if anything, on free speech activist Mark Kern over Stellar Blade censorship. So I saw the video and I don't really know much of the context of it, but I know like it made her upset of whatever he said. Like, oh, I just want him out, like completely. That's not how life works. And you can't, and also you're doing I don't know if I can say this on stream, but like a hire for a job to be taken care of.
If you scroll down just a little bit more, let me see. There might be some tweets that will show. Keep going.
Oh,
yeah. Here.
Grums. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So here, like this was the first bounty, so to speak, the 20K one, where this was done, and then of course, the next bounty, Denims, upped it, and of course, made a comment about her boobs about it, and it's kind of like, guys, do you not realize this is actually, I mean, I know people will say, well, it's just jokes, bro. I'm like, but you do realize that but by doing this, you're in danger of being a felon. So you can't just, yes, you can joke about this, so to speak, but I would not want to put this on the internet. It's like,
no way.
The internet is forever.
Yes, the internet is forever. Why would you say this? Why would you even post this? This is not smart. But yes, they are clearly threatening Grums's life. And we always say that we're not responsible for our audiences, but we do realize that there are definitely crazy people on either side of the aisle who would do it for free. So
and somebody else just the other day decided that they wanted to say 50K on it too. So
yes, I heard about that too.
Really? 50?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? Like, okay, like, yes, there's
at the FBI right now.
You can do games and jokes on the internet, but the fact that you're talking about someone else's life, that's not a joke.
No.
And the fact that you're saying it so casually, like you've said this before, it's not even repeated, or it's coming out naturally when you're saying it, means that you've premeditated this before.
Well, it's kind of, there's always that debate of like, yes, you're not responsible for your audiences or whatever, but I would not actively encourage people to do this regardless of the situation. Like, this is kind of one of those do not cross things. And what is it? Who was it? It was Asmongold who reported these was it one of the users or something like that? And
it was Asmongold, yeah.
Yeah, it was Asmongold, and I don't blame him, because that is a violation. Mm-hmm. It's you're threatening somebody's life by offering you're offering a job for somebody's life. and it's really sickening to see.
Yes.
I don't even consider it a joke. It's not funny.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, it's not.
It's not. And like, I know you can add the FBI and everything. Like, I've seen the ads on X, but they're not doing anything about it.
And then not only that, but they're starting to protect themselves as soon as they get backlash for it. So they're protecting themselves, they're shutting down their accounts, whatever. And it's kind of like, no, it's not jokes anymore, because now they're realizing that they did a stupid.
Yeah. Well, now they're scrubbing their account like, oh yeah, there's no evidence of me like, saying this. Here's the thing. The internet takes screenshots and it's forever. And then there's websites you can put your @ handle in, and then you can find the history of what you've tweeted before.
Especially when we've all known other people in this space, as well as outside of the space, where people have been threatened before and have gotten death threats and everything else, or have had other issues from other people. And it's just like, now it just seems like people are even more going, they're becoming more forward with it and just publicly saying these things. It's like, what in the world is wrong with people? Don't ever. Here's a PSA for anybody that's out there. Don't ever do this ever. It's like, just don't.
I mean, like I said, I'm all about the jokes, like, ragging on someone, calling someone certain names. But like doofus or like, SOB, that type of names.
Ribbing each other.
Don't get so strongly wording there. You might offend somebody with those words like doofus.
Doofus.
Wait, is doofus now considered like?
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Okay.
That doofus is just so tame to use that as. I guess I just come from a much meaner population.
I'm also trying to be as gentle as I can on stream. So,
yeah.
And then I'm also.
We already know this.
And and by the way, you can say whatever you want. It's just me as well, taming my tongue. But this is me just being in practice with myself. But yeah, as far as whatever you want to say on this stream, I'm okay with it as long as it, nothing. The no words on YouTube is what I'm referring to.
Don't say the things that'll get her kicked off.
Yes, those things. But
don't say things in the first 5 minutes, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I was going to say this one word, but no. It started with the letter P, but it's okay. I'm not going to say it.
And the thing is with this too, these people are saying these or giving these threats, these bounties, or what have you, because they're offended that Grums is calling them out, or they're offended that Grums is calling out this industry and what's happening around Stellar Blade. That's the thing. They are so offended. They are willing to put this out, like, first of all, put this out there publicly and land themselves in jail potentially. That's how you talk about wrapping your identity around these things. Like, these people, that is their identity. It's just, it's awful. Yeah.
Sorry, my mic was mute again. I have a bad habit of doing that as well.
Don't worry, I do it too.
I want to say like clever things, but I'm on mute, and I was like, well, there goes my moment of shine with that. But I don't know. And then wasn't there people like, oh my gosh, what was her name? Amaranth as well, who's done like hits on that as well, where they now scrub their account like, oh, there's no evidence of me ever saying that. Like, was it Amaranth who did it as well? Or am I just making that up?
I think it was
There's so many of them.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there's so many thoughts out there I can't keep track, and it's okay because I don't live my life like that, and I don't pay attention to people like that. But Smu's not wrong. He's like, it could be Amaranth, but I don't know.
The thing is too, if it were the other way around, like everybody else has said, if it were the other way around, where a guy ups the ante in terms of it's like basically ups the bounty like that. I mean, because I think Enemies is on Twitch or whatever. Usually that dude would have been canceled immediately off that platform. But no, she's probably going to still stay there and get a light slap on the wrist.
Oh, but what's the slap on the wrist? She's gonna be like, oh, like we banned her account, but she'll come back in like 2 days or a day or two, or 2 days. But there's no real consequences for girls who say things like that, because I think it was Smu that said it earlier. If the roles were reversed and like I was a guy who sent that bounty out, it would be an uproar. Like, oh my gosh, a male after a female, wanting her to be out of this, not being here with us anymore. So imagine the backlash that man would get on that.
Mm-hmm. Smooth says she got a 1-day suspension for that remark, by the way. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, not surprised. Because pretty girls like that who say whatever they want and mean it, they only just get a slap on the wrist. This is slap on the wrist. If I were to say that, knowing my dumb luck, I'd be like, yeah, I'm banned forever. But I wouldn't say that because it's someone's life. I don't joke on things like this. I know there's people like in real life, like, yeah, I don't agree with them, but I'm not just associating myself with that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Rachel does make a good point here. Just say he's trans, and then there will be an uproar, and then she'll get banned forever. That's let's
just identify with the group of the day, and then immediate uproar, and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Let's see if we can test that theory. No, just kidding. Just
All
kidding.
right, Grums, we got an idea.
We know how to protect you.
An idea for you.
Let's talk games. I know that was like a drunk 3PO thing.
Let's talk games.
Let's talk games.
Speaking of talking games, Horror, go ahead and tell us more about like your gaming stuff on your channel.
Right now, there isn't a whole lot going on. I've been focusing on the video channel because, it's just growing so fast that it's gotten a little ahead of me. So the streaming has been really spotty to non-existence recently.
Okay. Well, tell us more about your channel that like literally blew up with so much support that you even said that you didn't expect this to happen.
No, I never expected. I mean, it took just a little over a month to reach over 1,000 subscribers, and I did not anticipate that at all. So it's been great. It's just me basically talking about my takes on video game and video game news. So like I actually have a video up about, we were talking about Grums and his death threats just a moment ago, and I like to go in and I break down, I gather all the tweets involved in a subject occasionally and lay them out, from beginning to end, which I know people watching Twitter often have a problem doing, going through and finding, the whole story on whatever's going on. So I just go through the tweets from the beginning to the end of it and let people know what I think in the end. Sometimes people agree with me, sometimes they don't. I've learned some interesting stuff. For example, if you don't put woke in your tags, you don't end up with idiots who haven't actually watched the video. So don't use the tag of woke. You just get people who search for it and then go into your video and comment things like that they don't believe that whatever is woke, or if you don't know what woke means, it's really, really silly. But yeah, I also do. I put up video games that I'm interested in playing, and just that's my opinion about video games and the upcoming news. And I would like to be able to be playing more video games, but lately there just hasn't been time for it. It makes me sad.
Okay, because like your rising popularity, and because we're all in fear of like not being eaten by you, because we all live in fear of you. But like, have you gotten any backlash from this, or like has it been nothing but super great support, good news on your end on this gaming channel?
I mean, it's been fine. There are people who disagree and they say things, and I look at them and note the fact that they disagree and move on with my life. I've had at least one person follow me because they didn't like my opinion. And, that's also cool. Whatever. They don't like my opinion, and that's fine. So I don't think that at this point I'm big enough or said anything so outlandish that anybody's going to have any real opinion about trying to attack me or anything. Like I said, other than the ones where I've had a few people, I did the one about the female custodies in or custodies, however you want to say it, in Warhammer. I had a few people coming in there being a little upset about my take on that because, well, for one, I don't play Warhammer, and for two, it's dumb to just randomly shove something in where it doesn't belong. Whether or not I play the game, that's dumb. So and there are plenty of women who actually do play the game who agree with it. So that's my.
I was going to say this is your
channel.
Yes, this is your main one.
Yeah, where I have all 5-6 videos that I made 2 years ago. Oh my God, how things have changed.
Oh my gosh.
But look at you now, like such a success and who you are, just like staying true to yourself. And like, I'm just talking about what my hobbies are.
Mhm.
And that's what you do. And then I do watch this show whenever you do live stream it with
me and my friend Star. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is so cute. I love it when you do the puppy talks too. Like those are adorable. Like, man, like it just lifts up my day that you guys are just talking about animals. I need to be more active in your chat and chatting. But like I like that, like I said earlier, is like I like the fact that you're just staying true to yourself and like, oh, we can just disagree, even though you know you're wrong, but you're not gonna tell that person and just keep doing your own thing.
Sometimes I do.
But like you don't let that bother you where you're just still doing your own thing and you're killing it in your gaming side.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's the internet. It's not, and people say it all the time. It's the internet. It's not real life. And more importantly, the places where it is real life have more to do with what you're talking about than what it affects. And I would much rather be able to communicate and try to reach a place where we can come to an agreement to leave each other alone than I am interested in arguing about me being supremely right. I know I am not right all the time. I'm right a lot, but I'm not right all the time. So it's important to listen, for me to listen to other people's opinions and hear what they're saying and try to understand, most importantly, where they're coming from so that I can see if there is some kind of flaw in my logic so that I can adjust accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Because
now
I'm psychotic.
A logical thinking Eldritch God? Oh my gosh. They ain't so. But like I love that, you know, what you just said right there is just like, I want to see their point of view first versus like my only mindset. And then, you know, see where I'm wrong or help me understand this type of stuff. And I think that's what a lot of people are lacking nowadays is logic, which is what you have. But you don't want to go in with like full ignorance. You're like, well, tell me your point of view and I'll have a good discussion about this.
Yeah. And then that's what it is to me. And that's part of why I enjoy live streaming on panels and stuff, because everybody has their own opinion and everybody has their own idea. And Rachel can say something that I'd never thought of before, or Lily or you or anybody can say something that I haven't thought of before from their own perspective that I hadn't thought of before. Mm-hmm. And it can actually be extremely healthy and very helpful. The more you understand about somebody else, the more you can actually understand about yourself. Something that people seem to forget is that we're all one kind of creature. We just have different thoughts and feelings. And if we can understand somebody else, sometimes, you know, that gives you a little more insight on yourself.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the reason why your channel is succeeding here on this one, the Abysmal Critic. Because you're very kind, you're very gentle. Since I've known you, I've never seen you be so negative. I've never seen you negative towards anyone. Like you say your opinions, but it's not attacking. It's not even harsh. It's more of like, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. That's cool. You keep it real, and I think that's the reason why like people are hovering towards you because they want real from you, and you're providing good content on this.
Oh, thank you, because I do worry about it. My videos keep getting longer.
No, hey, like you're doing a good job. Look at your views, girl. Are you kidding me? You're killing it.
For just over 1,000 viewers, I'm not at all unhappy with how it's doing. I've said it before, and I will probably keep saying it to the day I stop streaming or making the videos or whatever. The amount of support and everything, and I think it's one thing that I think irritates me. Or irritates other people about me is that I genuinely don't understand why people think anything of me. And I appreciate that they do. I appreciate when people try to explain it. And I promise I try very hard to understand. I probably never will, but I deeply appreciate that anybody even tries to explain that they have positive feelings about me. Mm-hmm. and more importantly, I appreciate that whatever the reason is, I appreciate that it exists and that people are willing to listen and they're willing to humor me, I guess, in some of the crazier things I say. I genuinely and deeply can't even begin to describe how much it means to me that people are willing to even just listen to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this like what you just said? Is this what you are expecting of your channel? Like, this is the outcome of it? Like, what are, if you don't mind me asking, going a little deeper and asking questions, but like, what are you wanting out of this? Like actual healthy discussions where we could all, get along and high five each other at the end of the day?
I would like people to learn to make healthier discussions. Some of it I kind of view as educational in some ways, because there's times when people don't stop and think about certain logical things. Like I have a couple where I break down the differences between different news reportings. There was news reportings about the creator of Stellar Blade made it, or no, not Stellar Blade. The creator of Pow World made a comment about so many new Pow World clones popping up, and one publication said that he's accusing people of cloning his game, and another one just said, he mentioned that people are cloning his game. Those are two very different approaches. One makes it sound like he's angry that these other people are making a game like his, where the other one acknowledges that he just said that new clones are coming out, and he's actually really excited and thrilled that new clones are coming out, because that means he made something that other people think is worth imitating. And more to the point, especially where we are in gaming now, if you want something new, more often than not, it's going to end up a combination of a whole bunch of old things that people got inspired by. And so it's moving the industry forward, and he gets to be at the beginning of it. But so often people read the title and don't actually look at the story. So there are a lot of people out there right now, I'm willing to bet, who think that man just accused China of making all these clones, where he just said all these clones are coming out and didn't think anything more of it. That kind of thing is important to me, to encourage people to stop and take that look. Encourage people to actually, especially because gaming is such a big deal to me. It is part of my life. I love gaming. It is important that, I hate to say we take gaming back, but it is important that we sway the market in a way that it's producing what we want again. Because it hasn't for a very long time, especially in the AAA sphere. The AAA sphere is the biggest problem right now. Indie sphere, because gaming is so decentralized the way it is, you can go out and you can find just about anything you want. Mm-hmm. But it's time for us, the people who play the games, to start taking that power we have and stop thinking that this AAA stuff that they shove at us is what we have to take. We don't have to buy it. You don't need it. You don't need to pirate it even. Playing it is a waste of your time, because you're not going to enjoy it. When you can go out and find a game that you will enjoy and help them become profitable, that is where we should be focusing our attentions. Mm-hmm. And that's part of why I like Grums so much, because he talks about that. He talks about getting into AA publications and indie publications. It's a huge problem with what Sony's doing in regards to Stellar Blade right now. That was actually an independent creator that they are censoring, or we assume they're censoring because we don't really have any hard evidence. But with the evidence that's out there, it's easy to assume that it is them, because there are plenty of other games that they have censored in that way, especially from Asian countries, and especially in the terms of independent creators that come out and publish on Sony. They will have to change something in their Sony version of the game that they don't have to change anywhere else, not on Switch, not on Xbox, not on PC. But Sony has this, I don't know, it feels to me like they almost have something against the independent creators, where they hold them to a different standard than their other creators, because you can have something like Devil May Cry 5, I think it was, came out. Mm-hmm. And there was a part where they actually used a lens flare to hide the ass shot of a female character. Well, as at the same time, you had Last of Us 2 come out, and they had that whole sex scene in there that they didn't do anything with. So one, you get a panty shot, which is who the fuck cares? And the other one is actual horrible looking sex that I really wish people would stop using that picture as a meme because it makes me ill every fucking time.
Yes.
So, but there's so many issues in that. It like that. There's a whole list of games out there that they've censored that way. There was a Naruto game that you chop somebody's arm off, but they had to edit it out in the Sony version because you couldn't, for some reason, chop the arm off a humanoid creature in a Sony game. But then in another game, they let the arm be chopped off because they figured times were changing and it was okay now. And the games really weren't that far apart. There's a whole lot of that out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want people to think about that stuff. I want people to realize we don't have to deal with what we're given. Games, as much as I love them, are still a luxury item. And because they're a luxury item, we have the power to choose if we want them or not. And if you don't really think that money's worth if that game's worth your money, and more importantly, if you don't think it's worth your time, then please don't buy it.
Yeah. Like, why spend your money on something that you know you're not going to enjoy later on? Right?
Well, why buy something that you're sure that you're not going to enjoy from the beginning? I understand YouTubers who do it because, you know, it's how they make their money. And at the same time, it helps other people educate themselves without having to buy it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an understandable thing to some degree, but just definitely focus on making your decisions mindfully. And that seems to be the bigger issue that we have, is people making emotional decisions.
Yes.
I mean, I know I'm a highly logical person and it comes out a lot differently, but yeah, definitely I would like people to be a little more logical and a little less emotional. And I'm hoping that I can show people you can do that, but, you know, still have fun.
Yeah. Or like, you know, don't get caught up in your feelings. Like, think for yourself.
Well, just think.
Yeah. Like, yes, like you can get overwhelmed with like emotions and everything that can lead you, that can, you know, be hurtful, but at least like do logical thinking and help guide you to like, do I really feel like this? Or am I just like not seeing it from that person's perspective?
Well, more importantly, am I feeling that right now? And will that feeling pass? Because a lot of emotions we have are in the moment. And if you make your decision in that moment, then your decision is going to be different than if you wait 10, 15 minutes or even an hour. And then you can make a more rational decision. And since this is gaming, since this is something that you get to choose what you do, you don't have to make it when you're in that highly emotional state.
Mm-hmm. Where you're not, you know, you're not vulnerable. You're not compromising yourself. Like, you need to be sound and grounded in what you want to talk about. And like, we can, you know, see eye to eye, or maybe not see eye to eye, but don't let your emotion like lead you to like anger or like, you know, hate or anything.
Right. And I mean, that's basically where I come from everything on is trying to come at it rationally first.
Mm-hmm.
And that emotions are important and have a time and place, but you can't let them get in the way of making the best decision.
Yes, you can't, because, you know, that's not how it happens in real life. And people won't take you serious if you let your emotions run through.
Well, unfortunately, in today's world, they will take you serious because way too many people make their opinions based on emotion or make their decisions based on emotion because they've been taught that what you feel is what you think when they're two different things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole other pile of mess.
That might be for another show that we get to have you on as a guest again, if you'd like to come back.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Yay. I'm glad that you're here because obviously I hear the passion in your voice of like, you are intentional of getting to know the other person, being real with that other person, not the intention of wanting to eat them, but maybe, but still like,
but I just ate, so we're good.
Oh, okay. No need to worry then. But the fact that you have a passion of like, I would call it even education. Like, you want to educate people to like, hey, take it slow. Don't take it as serious as you think it is. Play games, have discussions, be good with each other.
I hate calling it education just because I don't like the feeling of sounding like I'm putting myself above people at all, because I'm not.
Okay,
But
fair.
at the same time, it kind of is what it is. I do want people to, I want to help people reach that point where they're understanding, you know, there are other options and that we have this control. We all have this power and ability to do this, but we just have to choose to do it.
Yes. We have to take it upon ourselves to like, do I really want to like, you know, not have this wall of ignorance and arrogance, or do I want to like make friends with this person?
Right.
And I think that's what we lack on this in life in general, where people do take things a little too serious than they should have, where there's people like you, we're like, all right, let's hear you out. And that's the reason why I would love to have you back on the show, because you're logical, you're very sweet, you're understanding, you are amazing to approach with. So I think you have a good thing. I believe you have a good thing on you with your approach on your channel here, girl.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. And again, I have to say, because without everybody supporting it, it wouldn't be going anywhere. So more importantly than anything, thank you everybody for supporting me.
I just realized I hadn't subscribed yet, and I just did. I'm so sorry.
I wasn't worried about it.
But like here. But here's the thing: I love watching you. I'm like, now that I'm following this channel too, because I like you on your other channel too when you're talking to Star and when you're doing your gaming stuff, because you have this gravitational pull towards you where like, you know, you're genuine. And I think if you keep doing what you're doing, people are still going to keep coming toward your channel. And then Dr. Rachel is right here. Like, we need more people like you in the sphere, someone who can actually come with ideas in a logical manner and help people become more open-minded versus rational in their own decisions. 100%.
I hope I can help people. That would be great. That is my goal, is to try to help people with information and ideas.
Well, you're killing it. You got me convinced, and I believe in you 100%. But ladies, do you have anything else that we need to talk to? You know, get our girl going and get her hyped up, because I already talked. I gave her my fangirling. Do you girls have anything to give to Horror on your fangirl side?
Horror's like, you don't have to. Don't worry. Don't have to.
Oh, we don't have to. We don't want to.
No pressure no pressure from me, please God.
I mean, Horror is always one of the most logical people out there. And Horror, I love seeing all your posts. I know you always say, you know, you don't feel like you want to put yourself out there, but please do. We need more people in this space like that. Regardless if anybody agrees or disagrees. I think you come at it with a very, like, it's not just a logical standpoint. You're trying to listen to understand rather than to reply. And I do admire that about you. And it's a gift. Not everybody can do that.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean for it to be quiet. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to be quiet there.
I wasn't sure if somebody else was going to talk, but I thank you. I appreciate it.
I was waiting for a response but I've actually caught some of your videos, and yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for putting all of the information together, because sometimes a lot of this stuff, like, it goes way over my head. I don't know what's going on, but since we're in this little sphere where a lot of people are gamers and they're following all the video game things, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I just stay out of it because I don't even know how to participate, and I don't want to say something stupid. So thank you for making these videos and kind of like putting it all together. So I'm like, oh, okay, now I see what's going on. Like with the Stellar Blade stuff, I had no idea what was going on. All I know is that when I saw the pictures that everyone was like complaining about, I was like, what the heck? I'm like, seriously, they just censored like her cleavage, but she's still naked.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, what? How does that make sense? Like, I don't understand. I'm like, just uncensor that part. I don't know. That's as far as it went for me, because I'm like, okay, this I can follow, but all the other stuff, I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening. But then when your videos pop up, I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on. I'm like, so thank you for making your videos, and on Twitter as well. Thank you for having a really great presence. I enjoy seeing your posts.
Okay, I guess I'll jump in now.
I was waiting. I'm
Going
sorry.
around the room.
I was waiting for Horror to say something. I was like,
I
all
know,
right.
me too.
I don't know what to say. Look,
I
I'm not
feel
good
like-
at this is kind of like a struggle session for me because I am not good at compliments. People are being nice to me and I'm kind of freaking out. So I appreciate everything everybody's saying and I'm sorry if I'm weird.
Oh no,
Oh,
you're
no,
not.
it's not.
That's okay. We all are. Just you don't even have to respond to whatever I'm about to say. You really don't. I'll just put that part out there first. But no, like I said in my message there, you're such a good presence in this sphere on Twitter, on YouTube. You just come at things in a really logical, level-headed way. It's very rare, I think, now to find someone who is searching for an argument, like searching for the hater, searching for the troll, someone that they can pick on. And it just, to me, it gets really disheartening seeing all that happen all the time. So it's really refreshing to have someone like you who's actually genuinely interested in these discussions. Whether people come to you because they agree with you, because they disagree with you, really doesn't matter. It's because you have some information, you just want to put the information out there. That's really what it should be about. Let people make their own decisions, and be okay with people's opinions, no matter which way they swing. So I just think there should be more people that are doing that kind of engagement out there. So I'm glad that you are doing really well. This channel is doing really well. Didn't this one start off as Abyssal Critic?
Yes,
And
it
then it
did.
changed?
And then once again,
what I thought.
Jeremy and Gary can't read and they can't
Yep.
talk. So
what
at
I
that
thought.
point, I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to change the name.
Yep. Well, good. I think more people can read abysmal than abyssal. So,
I have no
you're
idea how
getting
disappointing that is.
Believe me, I get it. I do get it. But I'm just glad people are coming to the channel. They are subscribing. Everyone in our chat, if you haven't subscribed, please throw her a sub. Watch her videos, and just make this sphere on YouTube and on Twitter and on all the other socials just a better place to have discussions and come together regardless of opinions. That's all. Okay, I'm done. I promise.
It goes without saying, Horror, we love you. we love who you are, and we're just glad that we can, have you in our sphere, have you in our circle, that we want to hear more about you, because you do bring good topics, good discussions, and good points that I agree with her. I don't know if you get it told to you all the time, but you do. I do value your thoughts and your takes on things.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm so happy you're here. But now that we're going into we're still talking about your channel. What do you have coming up for your channel on Abysmal Critic?
Another video. I've been doing a video just about daily. I don't normally decide what the topic's going to be until I sit down to record, and then that's that. Whatever topic I find at that point is what the topic is. So it's very fluid. At this point, I'm eyeing a couple different potential stories. One about maybe I'm keeping an eye on one to see if maybe it develops into something that could be reported on or not. A fellow actually ran a bit of a catfish scam on a games journalist.
Oh wow!
Oh,
the other day.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. Gigabear with Second Wind Media did a bit of a bait and switch kind of thing, and that turned out really interesting. And right now, the guy is kind of teasing potentially some more information on that. I'm keeping an eye just to see if it actually develops into anything that people might really be interested in. But right now, it's pretty quiet. Other than that, there's just a couple stories out there that might be worth talking about. But yeah, until I sit down to decide what to record, I don't really know what it's going to be. It's very spur of the moment kind of decision. And but daily videos until I either need to cut back a little for some reason or what else or what, I'm not sure yet. But for now, I'm just working on keeping the daily thing going. Streaming's kind of back burnered for the time until I can get the channel has turned into so much of a passion project that it's taking a lot away from a lot of other things. And I'm just trying to look at how to rebalance life to get some other things back in there while continuing it.
Well, good on you. You're killing it. I can't tell you this enough, but whatever you're doing, just keep going because we're fans. You have fans. And I can't wait for that video to come out now that I'm subscribing and I'm going to watch. It's going to be great. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and call it. We let our guest say what she's going to get going on, and we cannot wait. Mags, what do you have going on in the next week or two? Or what do you got going on?
Well, you can find me, of course, pretty much everywhere. Usually you can find whatever status updates I will be as far as panels are concerned. You can find that through Twitter. That's usually where you can find any kind of live updates. But I mean, as of right now, life is a little bit of an upheaval because I've received more work to do at work. So I'm kind of more focused on that and getting that in order to make sure I have the energy at the end of the day to do anything else. But you can usually catch me around. Yeah, you can find me around. So just follow me on Twitter for any latest live updates where I will be at. So yeah.
Mags is everywhere, y'all. So keep an eye out.
Lily, times.
Lily, what do you have going on?
Probably just the same thing. Just be on the lookout on Twitter for anything that happens to happen. I think all of us were on a little bit of a hiatus on Midnight Edge Espanol for like the shorts, but
yeah,
we'll get back on it. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. So that should be coming back around. And then of course, don't miss us every Thursday here. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm kind of like Mags. I'm trying to like sort out my personal life.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. But yeah, just make sure you're following on Twitter and you'll see what's going on.
Yay. All right. Our newly engaged woman here. What do you got going on, Rachel?
Yay. Well, at least my personal life is doing all right. Even though my professional one isn't. I just really don't have anything going on right now. I've been kind of busy over the last day with everything going on, trying to get a hold of family and friends, tell everyone all the good news and whatnot. And I'll be away this weekend just for a little get out of the house, get away. Nice trip away with the fiance. But yeah, I'm doing really well. Whatever I have going on, I will, as always, update Twitter. You can see me, Saran_cosplay there. I have one art project that I've been trying like crazy to get this video going and edited, and it's just not coming together, but I'll keep trying. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be on my channel, Adeline Crafting. If you're interested in art, just go check out any of the videos I've done over there. It's a mosh posh of all kinds of art stuff.
Woo! I can't wait to see more of your stuff. And there's Smu dropping that link. And as far as me, guys, yes, there was a bit of a hiatus with Midnight's Edge Espanol, but it looks like life is calming down for me as well, where you'll see more content coming from both me and Lily with Midnight's Edge. And you'll probably you might expect something from Lily when she sees Fall Guy. The Fall Guy. So be on the lookout for that and just follow Midnight's Edge Espanol. I don't know when I'll be streaming again, but if you'll see me streaming again, it might be with Dreaming Tabitha because she lost a bet. She has to fulfill her bet. She has been avoiding it. And I've been nagging at her almost every day. Like, I sent you that playlist 2 weeks ago. And you haven't fulfilled your part. So you can catch me tweeting it when we're going to have that listening party with Tabitha when she's listening to this heavy music that she's not a fan of. But just keep an eye out on Twix. You can catch me there at Nomiwithoutyou. But as far as Dames and Dorks, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Shout out to Smu the DJ, our monitor. He's not a monitor. Our moderator. And I might be a little hungry. So I might need to get myself a little snack. But shout out to Smu the DJ and everybody else who's been in the chat, who's been really active and talking to us. And thank you again to Amorata for joining us tonight. We can't wait to see what her channel is going to take forward with. And we're here for it. And Horror, you are more than welcome to come back again. We would love to have you back on Dames and Dorks with us.
Absolutely.
Yay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope y'all have a good night. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.